Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Before we get started, please click subscribe to my channel to keep up with all of my latest personal finance and investing content. And please check out the link you see on your screen for a message from my sponsor, The Motley Fool, where you can get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
All right, joining me to answer all of our retirement questions, Matt Frankel. Matt, what is the difference between a pension and a 401k?
401ks are much more common these days, but believe it or not, pensions do still exist. They're definitely dwindling in popularity. When it comes to retirement plans, there's two general categories. There's what's called a defined benefit plan and a defined contribution plan. A 401k that most employers offer is a form of defined contribution plan, meaning that you contribute, your contributions are well defined, 5% of your salary, 6% of your salary, whatever. But the benefit you get at the end is not well defined. It could be whatever the market does between now and then. A pension is a form of defined benefit plan where you contribute a certain amount that varies by employer, but your benefit is set. With a pension, there's a formula that your income, the years of service, things like that all goes into a formula, and it determines what your benefit is at the end. So 401k, you contribute a set amount. Your eventual benefit depends on the market. Pension, your benefit is defined by a set formula. You know exactly what you're going to get for the rest of your life.
And is the reason that we've moved from pensions, which were really common back when, you had big auto companies and big steel companies, there was, millions of people who had this pension and would just stay at companies for 30, 40 years. But the company itself has that liability on their balance sheet, and they don't really want that. And it became a real risk over time. Whereas with a 401k, they can say, okay, Matt, I'm paying you $50,000 this year. I'm giving you $10,000 in retirement benefits, and that's it. I don't have any other liability from your retirement, because I know I started my career at 3M. There was even healthcare that they would provide for retirees. So is that the way that they're thinking about it? Is that the reason that we're moving to, hey, this risk is going to go from our balance sheet to you personally?
Yeah, it clearly shifts the risk from the employer to the employee. One thing that really kind of killed pension plans is interest rates. Basically, pension plans are predicated on the assumption that you put all this money into a bucket, you're going to be able to generate X amount of risk-free return over time, and the money's going to grow, and that's what's going to fund your pension plans.
And they have to assume that they know theoretically and over time what that return is going to be.
Now, up until the 2000s, it was unheard of to have interest rates as low as they have been. It was unheard of. So, to have it was really rare for a 30-year Treasury yield to dip below 4% before the financial crisis. Now that, when interest rates went to next to nothing, pension assets were essentially set in stone, and they couldn't generate any return to pay out benefits. That was one big thing that really led to a big exodus from pension plans. But it is really more about shifting the visibility from, giving the employers more visibility into what they have to pay over time, because they found out the hard way. Interest rates aren't always going to be there. And it's not always going to be able to, get 7% risk-free returns on pension funds.
Well, and I guess as a user too, maybe if you're taking the risk and you can diversify it among a whole bunch of stocks and different investments, maybe that's a better position to be than having your entire pension relying on the future of one company.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just that pensions were better for employees. A lot of people who got, companies went bankrupt, pension plans didn't have money to pay. I mean, it happens. And it's not just greater visibility for the employer. It's, the long-term historical rates of return on stock investments are great. So it's not necessarily the 401ks are bad. They're just a little more uncertain.
Well, thanks for clarifying that. Pensions defined benefits, so you know what you're getting at the end. 401k defined contribution, so both you and the company that you're working for know what they're going to be putting in, but then the risk is that you don't know exactly what the benefit is going to be at the end. So there's a balance there between the two, but I think it's pretty clear that the world is moving to more defined contributions. So 401ks and pensions are kind of a thing of the past at this point. So thanks for answering those questions and making those clarifications, Matt.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
And you can find my work at the Rye Project on YouTube. So feel free to follow me there. Matt, you are also on YouTube. What is your channel?
I am at Matt Frankel CFP, all one word.
All right. Thanks, and we'll see you here next time.
Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click subscribe if you don't subscribe to my channel already. And as always, this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. Be sure to visit www.fool.com/Frankel to receive the top 10 best stocks to buy now.